Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Scarlett Fu.
Definitely feels bullish, right, Romaine? But if you look at the S&P 500, you actually had more names in the index lower in today's session. 284 to the downside, Katie. 218 gaining ground, one unchanged.
Well, it's a similar story when you take a look at the circle and the sectors, because you had more sectors in the red than you did in the green. You can see that right now that tech was a big contributor there to the upside. Healthcare also having a great day. Utilities getting in on the action. But then you take a look at what didn't do too hot. Communication services, financials, materials. Your big loser on the day, but up overall for the benchmark.
Okay, what was really hot was Lithium Americas. Man, this one was up about 23%. Shares rallying after U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris on Bloomberg Television saying that the government, U.S. government.
Where?
Did you see the byline on that story? Did you guys see the byline on that story?
And Romaine Bostick.
It was
breaking news right here.
I thought that would be enough.
Did you guys do it?
I thought that would be enough to get Carol not to do this story today.
Did I bury the lead? Oops.
Yeah.
You buried the byline, but we'll allow
guys,
it.
It's nice to see you get one.
Like to
well
make
done.
ourselves.
All right. Anyway, the U.S. Energy Secretary, yes, talking to Katie and Romaine, saying that the U.S. government agreed to acquire a 5% stake in the company. So well done, well done. Just 1 week ago, you might remember, is when the story started floating around, and that's when you saw that share price in this name jump almost 100%. It's up about 130% in the last week. All right, I'm going to jump over. Did you talk to the Nike CEO today by any chance?
No, that wasn't us.
Actually.
Well, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so Nike up about 6.25% in today's session. We broke down, of course.
Accepted.
I love competition. Their earnings coming out yesterday after the close. Nike reported first quarter revenue that beat the average analyst estimates, a sign its focus around specific sports such as running and basketball is starting to pay off. They're also working back with retailers. We talked to our Poonam Goyal about this, and that is a good thing for the company.
I like Poonam.
Yeah.
I love her. She's like incredible. Pfizer, we talked about drug makers, man. On a tear, the group finishing up about 5% overall. Pfizer, certainly a beneficiary of the move up. This is coming. We know that Wall Street had long feared that policies were going to come out of the Trump administration that would impose aggressive drug pricing policies, but those fears largely laid to rest after Pfizer cut that deal with the White House. But we're also hearing it's going to play out to other drug makers. And as I mentioned, we did just see on the Bloomberg crossing about a half an hour or so ago from Politico that the president is said to be delaying pharma tariffs to negotiate those drug prices. This is coming from a White House official. And then you mentioned GoodRx, which was on another network. And that one, I'm sorry, Finley, I didn't tell you about this one, but it was up about 19% in today's session. One more name I'm just going to throw in there.
Is this 5 or 6?
I lost count. Okay. AST SpaceMobile, I just want to point it out. On a tear, you're going to care. We're going to actually be talking to the president tomorrow. Up 16%, announcing late yesterday about success with their satellites. They are deploying satellites. Could be a competitor to someday, maybe to SpaceX.
Yeah.
Barclays raising its price target to 60 from 37. They are upbeat on the company. So anyway, catch our interview with the president tomorrow. Cheap tease, but I'm going to do it.
I will tune into that.
You should.
All right, well, tune into these decliners, please. The worst performer in the S&P 500 today, Corteva, down 9.1%. The company fell after it announced plans to separate into two independent companies, and it looks like they're failing to convince investors it's going to deliver any value. This separation is expected to be completed in the second half of next year. Investors are worried that the separation creates more volatility for the pesticide business, with shares falling today by 9.1%. Cal-Maine Foods, they do eggs, and they are down 1.2% today. This after the company posted first quarter profit and sales that disappointed. It turns out we're just buying fancier eggs. Did you hear this?
No, go on.
Consumers are looking for fancier egg varieties, cage-free, pasture-raised, and organic. They're considered more sustainable.
Yeah.
There's a quirk, though, with egg pricing and long-term contracts, so sometimes specialty varieties can actually be cheaper than conventional ones.
They are.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just buy egg whites in a box.
I got a guy in Brooklyn, and they're cheaper than in stores.
Is it pasture backyard raised Brooklyn eggs?
I don't know. He just shows up in a van and on the side of the park. So who knows?
You just get more and more interesting.
The eggs are falling off the truck.
He says they're all free range.
Hey, let's finish on Peloton, down 3.7% today. This after the company raised prices on hardware and membership fees and a product overhaul. New versions of the bike and the tread with a silver screen, swivel screen, Price increases include an average bump around 11% for hardware and 19% for subscription fees. Mark Gurman said investors concerned that maybe you could see some churn with these price increases when it comes to those membership prices.
All right, let's take a quick look in yields. We actually did see a lot of buying activity, primarily led on the shorter end of the curve. That pushed yields lower across the curve, 7 basis points on the 2-year yield, about 5 basis points on your 10-year yield. And we should point out, if you run the work function on your Bloomberg terminal, you will see now that the conviction for further rate cuts this year is now a near certainty. The market pricing in at least one cut as an almost certainty at the end of October when that next meeting happens, and another one almost certainty when the Fed meets for its last meeting on December 10th.
Super interesting narrative in the market, certainly today. Hey, in terms of interesting stories that caught our attention, we talk about celebrity endorsements and what that can do for a product. Well, Serena Williams, she has done an ad campaign with Roe, and as a result, it has definitely, sparked demand for the company's weight loss program.
Yeah, the company's CEO said the company has seen an elevated and consistent ability for Williams' story to resonate and drive traffic since this ad aired in August. Consumers should expect to see more from Roe and Williams, which have a multi-year partnership after the campaign led to a spike in web traffic and an influx of new customers. I always wonder, how much are these celebrities paid for partnerships like this?
Maybe the question is how much has she invested in it? And of course, we know, Alex Ohanian's connection to Roe as well. But it does sort of seem reminiscent of what we saw some years back when Oprah teamed up with Weight Watchers. She lost all that weight and then revealed that she was on the board and an actual investor. It was obviously a public stock, but you saw just how much people gravitated to that company and to that stock. And I know Roe isn't publicly traded, but you wonder if you'll see a similar type of activity.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say I see their ads all over the PATH stations. Charles Barkley, I think, is also signed up there.
Are those ads going to still be allowed with the new restrictions coming from Health and Human Services? That's the question I have.
It's a big question, and I don't have the answer. But I do want to talk quickly about Amazon here. I thought this was interesting. Amazon launching a private label food brand, Amazon Grocery. Amazon, I know that we only care about cloud when it comes to the stock, but they have been pushing so hard into food. They have that partnership with Winn-Dixie. They also have been expanding their food delivery, and now they have a private label food brand. So there you go. Amazon taking over.
Can I just tell you, I find this confusing because I feel like Amazon has sort of gone down this road. I'm talking specifically about their food and grocery strategy.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
And there's just
confused.
so many brands and so many divisions. I remember sometimes you try to order something on Amazon that's food related, but you have to do it through Fresh, or you can only do it through this and that. Yes. I mean, come on, guys. Just put it all together.
Well, they're combining Amazon Fresh and Happy Belly into one collection.
You're not the only one who's confused. No. We do order our groceries on Amazon.
Can
we
you
use
get Jassy on the
Whole
phone?
Foods.
I got some advice for him.
So if you open the app and you actually click groceries, there are 4 different places you can order from in the app.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I think you're not the only one who's confused.
Yeah, I just give up.
You guys are cranky, man.
Yeah.
This is why I get my eggs from a guy on the street corner.
That's true. Exactly.
Exactly.
Bring on the farmers markets too. All right, guys, that's a wrap.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.